to Lewis. The run around with Jack. Able to stand Jack, but no one to pass it to, and he's come in for some pretty heavy work too. Brent Todd in there to do some heavy work as Roach carries a couple of the Kiwi forwards with him. Inside New Zealand territory now. In this third test match, line side goes Sterling. Running
on American soil, the undefeated Jeff Fenech. And his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner is...
To be honest, I always wanted to be what block I was. I wanted to be a rugby league player. I got into boxing by accident, and I was able to do amazing things. I went to the Olympics in '84. I was world champion in '85. I was the quickest person ever to win 3 world titles undefeated. My record was only broken last year.
Well, just a young fella growing up and idolising, Bobby Fulton and Graham Langlands and all those sort of guys that were from Wollongong, where I originated from, and just watching all those guys and thinking one day, I'd love to play in the same sort of arena as those guys.
Oh well, I can see my opponents tiring and hurting, and I want to finish the fight. I want to knock him out. Of course, I'm proud to win, but I'm not proud of hurting anybody anymore.
I love being in that team environment. I loved going away on tours, and I loved being around blokes who had the same sort of ambition as yourself, but just the fun times, the mateship.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest.
After you get After you get...
No, she's beautiful. What sort of stage do you think, I'm going to throw that white towel in now?
Yeah, because I've seen the ramifications. I've seen some of my close friends, and I kind of think to myself, wow, there are guys I used to box, Steve, and I used to punch their heads in every day. We used them as punching bags. And look, today, I might sound fine, but there are days blocked that I do something and 30 minutes later I forget, or I organise to do something at 12 o'clock and it's 11:30 or quarter to 12, it's 12:05. God, I'm supposed to be somewhere. I just forget. I mean, look, I don't want to put anybody else in that position.
Stumbling out of the contact himself. And it's come away to Macquarie.
So we love this, but I mean, we think that's great, but I don't know if it really is. That's what we've done. That's what you've done in the day.
It was state of origin in those days. That's how it was. It was sort of get or get got. That if you were playing for Australia or you were playing in a state of origin, you were expected to try and take the opposition on, and that was just. I don't know, that was just part of it.
You're expected to inflict hurt. We're in the hurt game. Well,
it's pretty hard to explain because you don't really remember. I got asked the question a lot of times, how many concussions did you have? But it's hard to remember. But then the question was put to me, how many times did you see, like the white dots in front of your head, in front of your eyes, Well, that would happen quite regularly, if not every week. So I don't know. The other thing for me too is denial. I was in denial for a long, long time, just forgetting things, and and my wife Kathy actually noticed it, but she never said anything to me because she wanted me to come to her and say, look, I'm having a few problems, whatever, memory and all that sort of stuff, and talking sentences and like forgetting words during what you're trying to talk.
But the thing that really upsets me is, like I said, there are so many other people who just played second grade or third grade or reserve, and they need help as well.
I don't want to see people suffer. I mean, I've got a lot of mates who have had a lot of concussions and all that sort of stuff, and to see them with their families and to see them not even wanting to get out of bed to go and to do a job. I mean,
I'll tell you why it's so important. Let me tell you why. Because it's quite simple that if something happened to Blocker Roach, or if something happened to Mario Fenech, or to Benny Elias, we're all aware of it and we're alert to that. But when it happens to Joe Bloggs while he played second grade, nobody cares about it. Macquarie University cares about everybody, and that's the reason why I'm sitting here. We talk about suicide and we talk about helping a mate and talking to people. There's more to it than that. We've just got to try to make it as good as we can and look after the fighters. When I think of this fight, I think of total neglect from Jeff Horn's trainer. I thought that asking him questions and letting him cop what he was copying. I'd like to think that the way I'd like to correct this is I'd like to put his trainer in the ring and let somebody punch him in the head so many times and see what it's like.
I thought the towel should have been thrown into the third round.
20 seconds left in this one anyway.
We need funding, and we need the people who have made all the money out of you guys to give something back.
The other thing we've got to do is try and work out how we can afford to help those other people that can't afford to help themselves. That's the thing.
And that's the thing that upsets me the most for winners is we can afford to help. The NRL make millions of dollars. They do a couple $1 billion deal with the TV. You mean to tell me they can't give some of that money to look after some of these people, to help Macquarie University? When I look at it, it's sad. We just need to have a better legislation. We need to have better people that allow these people to be trainers and referees and officials as well, because mate, the referees in some of the fights over the last few months have been just as bad as the trainers because they've let them go on as well.
Collision sports and physical sports like boxing, I don't see how we're going to stop the collision. I don't see how we're going to stop.
I mean, I think the whole thing needs to be looked at, and as well as just the competing on game day or on fight night, we've got to also think about our training techniques and making sure that these young guys aren't getting hurt as they're growing up and getting concussed.
We see it a lot now in rugby league too, now during the training. Like a lot of people only see the game day, as you mentioned, the game day where people actually go there and watch people play, but they have scrimmage every week. Scrimmage is like going at a game, opposing your teammates and playing against your teammates, and the instructions from the coaches and the people who are doing it is you've got to go as hard as you can.
Until everybody's under the same banner and doing the same thing, we're always going to have people trying to take shortcuts or people cheating, people getting away with things that because they want to win.
I'd like to do it. I'd like to do it like if I was going to do it privately and just have no fanfare really about it, you know.
Yeah, well, I've done it, but I haven't done it for fanfare. But I'm not sure they're going to find much in my block.
They probably won't look like mine anyway.
I've always thought,
Once you face it and you go and get the tests and you do all the things that you're supposed to do, it's a weight off your shoulder, and you can see the relief in your family. Even I've got 3 sons, my wife talks to my sons about this sort of stuff too, and they tread around me even better now. Do you know what I mean? Like they understand that I know about what's going on, so it's a relief for the whole family. And they're the people you've got to think about. Like if anything ever happened to me and I'm gone, you leave your family there, to pick up the pieces, and that's not a good thing.